Hello folks, and welcome to this video in regards to a certain NPC in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and that being the NPC that is simply referred to as the Receptionist, the lady that runs the desk at Mayor Dotor's residence. There aren't a lot of people that even take the time to look over this character. A few people are probably aware that it is possible to jump behind her desk. Now, this is very unique compared to other NPCs in either Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, where the characters often are behind desks that are also behind invisible walls. Of course, if the character is behind an invisible wall, it is possible to use a Game Shark code to levitate Link over the desk and get behind it, which is something that players are not normally able to do. Something that many fans of Ocarina of Time know is that most NPCs behind desks do not have any legs, since Nintendo never expected the player to get behind the desk. Considering that the player was never supposed to see behind the desk, Nintendo saw no point into giving the NPC any legs. Which is not the case in Majora's Mask, in which a majority of NPCs behind desks now do have legs added to their models. I guess it could be because the camera makes it possible to see the NPCs behind the desks than it was compared to Ocarina of Time. And I guess Nintendo wanted to put the extra effort into giving these characters fully textured models. Now, of course, there are some Game Shark codes that can have certain NPCs appear in other areas of the game other than the one that they initially are supposed to be set in. Although for Majora's Mask, there is only one code that is well known for getting NPCs to appear in a certain other area, and that would be in South Clocktown. For about over a decade, people had made videos showing them putting NPCs out in South Clocktown. This is done by using a sort of code that replaces the dog that is normally found in South Clocktown with another NPC. Now, such videos like this would include mostly models that went unused in the finalized game. Such as, for one example, a model of Princess Ruto from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, I saw someone do a video that showed various NPCs in Majora's Mask being put into South Clocktown, and I had thought that it was possible to import NPCs from Ocarina of Time into Majora's Mask, which was why I suggested having the other sages appear all around Clocktown. The person that made the video, however, informed me that it is not possible to do this, as none of the other sages besides Ruto actually appear in Majora's Mask, at least in the game's codes. Now, of course, Princess Ruto doesn't appear at any point in Majora's Mask. The closest would, of course, be Lulu, the singer of the Zora Band, who uses the same model as Princess Ruto, except she is wearing a purple dress, while Ruto doesn't wear anything. So why exactly is Ruto's model found within Majora's Mask's code? It is quite possible that she was an early model for Lulu, or it's also possible she may have been a placeholder, and the developers of the game simply just left her in with no reason to remove the model from the game, even though it never actually appears in the game. I'm not quite sure if this means that Lulu was originally not going to be wearing a purple dress just as she does in the finalized game, or if Princess Ruto's model was simply a placeholder. But of course, I had mentioned the mayor's receptionist at the start of the video, and of course, we're going to be looking over her, as well as the treasure chest shop lady. Now, both of these NPCs happen to have the same animations. Both of them are moving their arms and body behind the desk of their respective areas, and they both have the same body movements, such as both putting their arms over the desk when they are greeting Link, as well as also making this shrug. These are the animations that these two NPCs have, and they are all alike. There is even one voice clip that they happen to share. Now this voice clip also happens to be used by Darling in the Honey and Darling minigames, as well as the cows, found just about in quite a lot of areas in the game. Although, quite honestly, anytime I hear this noise, the Receptionist is the first character to come into my mind. Even though this sound is not specific to her, but it is the only voice clip that is used for her. And it is also the only voice clip besides the mooing that the cows have. Now, the Treasure Chest Shop gal happens to have quite a lot of voice clips that are also shared with Darling in the Honey and Darling minigame. But there is also a voice clip that is used only for her. Now, I suppose that given as to how they happen to have at least one voice clip that is shared, it is quite possible that some of the voice clips that you hear only with the Treasure Chest Shop gal and Darling, or even the Treasure Chest Shop gal alone, could actually be pulled off to be used for any of these NPCs, such as for fan animations. Now, of course, since both the Receptionist and the Treasure Chest Shop gal are found behind desks, this means that their animations are based upon being behind a desk. But what if we had them placed where there wasn't a desk? Well, in this footage right here, I managed to get the Receptionist over into South Clocktown. And of course, the dog is nowhere to be seen because putting the Receptionist here removed the dog, which is something that happens anytime a player places an NPC in South Clocktown. Now, taking a look at how the Receptionist is moving now, she is still acting like she is behind a desk, but given as to how she has her arms spanned out like that, as well as how she has her tummy showing, it kind of looks more like she's doing a belly dance than she is just standing behind a desk. And the Treasure Chest Shop gal is pretty much the same story. I really don't have anything else to say about this video right here. So, I hope that that was enough to inform you about how exactly these NPCs really work, as well as how the Game Shark codes work in Majora's Mask. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.